Hey my loves, and you're welcome or welcome back to my channel. So I'm Priscilla. In today's video we're going to be talking all about how to write a killer personal statement conclusion. So like grab that reader's attention, make yourself memorable, make them remember you. No, they've got 1,000 personal statements to read, these admissions tutors, so you want to stand out, but stand out in a good way. I'm also going to give you a couple of bonus points at the end if you watch all through the video as to what do's and don'ts that you need to be aware of. So number one, what you want to do in your conclusion is to tie it back to what you've written earlier. So your conclusion is basically a summary of the meat of your personal statement. With everything you've written in your body, your conclusion is reminding them why you should be picked over the next person, why everything you've explored makes you a better candidate than the next person. So this last thing you leave them with should remind you why you've made a better case than the next candidate. Take note, you're not repeating what you've said in the body, you're just re-emphasizing what you've said, okay? You could reiterate the skills that you've mentioned in a different way. So the second way to do this is to talk about the future. So if you've told them you want to study this degree, talk about what you plan on using that degree for in the future, or what you're looking forward to studying even more of when you get into university, when you're accepted into that course. This is an optimistic way to study. It shows that you can already see yourself in the university and you're even thinking about what you want to do further or post-grad. It also shows that you're goal-oriented and that you factored in how the course fits into your future career and what you think you're going to do with the course. You don't need to have the next 10 years of your life planned out to do this. You just have to have a broad sense of your career path and where you see yourself going or what you see yourself doing after you've achieved this degree. Thirdly, you can talk about the university experience itself. So if you're an international student, you can say something along the lines of, I'd like to build my confidence when it comes to meeting people all over the world. I'd like to build my self-independence when it comes to living away from home and navigating life without my family or without my support system right behind me. We talk about how you're hoping to engage with the local community that you share similar passions with. Say you're studying dentistry, you can say something along the lines of you are interested in volunteering to educate people in your community who might not have access to dental education, that you might be interested in volunteering and educating them about how to improve their oral hygiene. Just things like that. If there's anything that resonates with you when it comes to community, when it comes to the social aspect of you being a student of that university, it might be nice to briefly touch on here, because what that's doing is telling the university, I don't just want to take from you, but I have something that I can also give to contribute to the university as a student. Remember though, if you're going this route, make sure that you're building more of a general case, because you're going to have to submit one personal statement to all of the universities you're applying to. So don't be too specific. Don't say, I'd like to educate the people of Manchester if you're applying to Manchester, because Oxford will also see your application if you're applying to Oxford, and that will not be relevant to the people in Oxford, okay? So make sure that you're being specific, but not too specific to the point where your personal statement becomes irrelevant to the other universities that you're applying to. A couple more bonus points. I'll start with the do's, things that you should surely be doing with your conclusion. So be positive. Don't end on a sad note. End on a good note, on a happy note, and basically remember that all you're trying to do there is reminding them why they should pick you. Why you, especially the conclusion. Why you? Why should we choose you over the next person? So end on a positive note and remind them why they should choose you over the next person. If you're struggling with a conclusion, take a break and come back to it, okay? You can always come back to things later. Like I said in my introduction video, you should not be too dismayed if you're struggling with your personal statement at the start. It took me 5+ drafts to get my final personal statement. So if you're struggling with a conclusion, leave it and come back to it. Leave it, go back to the body or to the intro and come back to it. Even though you want to finish writing your personal statement and send your application off, make sure that you're not rushing through your personal statement, especially the conclusion. It's like reading a book, and sometimes I get to the end and I can feel like the author was just rushing to get the work done, and it kind of like, it's a bit underwhelming. It's a bit like anticlimactic, because I've gone through like this really good book and at the end it just leaves me nowhere. Like, you don't want to rush through your personal statement to the point where you leave the admissions tutor trying to make your case for you at the end. Make a good case of why you. Don't rush through it. Don't go off on a tangent. Don't introduce like a new concept that you haven't even mentioned all the way through your personal statement. Don't just introduce something foreign into your conclusion. It's confusing. Don't list too many career ambitions at the end. It's very tempting for you to do that because you're trying to get so much in at the end. You're just gonna go off on a tangent, listing so many things you want to do. You're not Superman. Focus on one thing and tell us why we should pick you over the next person and why you think this degree will be helpful when it comes to achieving that ambition. Again, don't repeat yourself. Re-emphasizing something or summarizing something is very different from literally like repeating sentences that you have in other parts of your personal statement. They only need to read it once, okay? Writing the same thing you have in the intro in your conclusion won't really do much for you. So you can re-emphasize, but you should not be repeating sentences, okay? So final thoughts that you can take away or something that can help you is to do what we call the necklace approach. So you're basically reinforcing what you said in your introduction, but giving an extra dimension to it in your conclusion. So for example, if you started off by talking about something that's motivating you to study that degree in your introduction, you can talk about how you see yourself using that thing in the future, or how you see yourself using what you've learned from your degree in your future career, or why you'd like to go into that thing you mentioned in the introduction even further when you do get into that university. You're reinforcing what you said in the intro and you're giving an extra dimension to it, so something along the lines of what you'd like to take that thing you've learned, that thing that has been motivating you to study that degree, while you'd like to take it even further post degree or post graduation. Okay, so yeah, this is all for this video, how to write a good conclusion and tie things up and make things make sense for your admissions tutor. I hope you found it helpful and answered any questions you had when it comes to how to write a good conclusion. I hope that the do's and don'ts help you to know what to do and what to steer clear from, and that yeah, you have a good time writing a personal statement and get it done. If you have any questions that I didn't answer, you can drop them in the comment section. I always do well to reply most, if not all, of my comments. And yeah, do turn your subscription on and your post notifications as well, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, good luck, and get in.